Anita, how are you?
Very good. How are you? Welcome to our Kite Perspective series. This series is focused specifically into in the utilities industry and all topics technology and Oracle related. So thank you so much for being my guest speaker for today's event.
No, my pleasure. Looking forward to it.
So, Michael, as a way of introduction, tell us a little bit about yourself. Since how long are you with Oracle? Where are you located? What exactly are you doing at Oracle?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, we do have some slides which give some background. Let me show the latest one. I'm not sure if that's
sure.
You can see that? Cool. So, yes, I've been with Oracle now for coming on 9 years. I'm based in Perth, Australia. I was previously with Oracle Singapore for 6 or 7 years. 20 plus years working across management consulting, technology and financial management sectors. Spend a lot of time now working with executives of organizations to really try to define and give that assurance as to the value that Oracle solutions can deliver. I'm part of a much wider Oracle team, our customer strategy team. We have representatives across the globe, but certainly a strong presence here across Asia. And yes, myself and my colleagues absolutely work with many of the large organizations to really try and define that value. I think today we're talking more on the ERP side. But yeah, our coverage is absolutely all Oracle applications, plus Oracle technologies and Oracle's infrastructure. So yeah, hopefully I can give a bit of information today as to how we work with our customers and the type of value that really can be achieved through investment in Oracle solutions. And there's some details of mine there on the left-hand side as to if people want to get in touch with me or reach out to me through Oracle or via LinkedIn.
Awesome. Perfect segue into the topic, because today's topic is reducing the total cost of tech ownership with Oracle. So fascinating topic, and something which is very much alive across the customers we're working with. It's like, how can we drive more efficiency, be more effective with moving into the cloud, and not moving a point solution to the cloud, but going into the stack of a specific vendor and forming that strategic partnership. So I'm really curious to see your point of view and the methods and outcomes, what you've been uncovering as part of your role at Oracle, to see what that sort of return on investment model looks like, what the business drivers and real business value created are as part of going down that path.
Yep, yeah, absolutely. Well, let's get stuck in, shall we? So,
yes.
Why are organizations looking to move to cloud or to modern ERP solutions? And I'm not going to read the slide out. You can all see, and these are extremely typical. And it may not be that an organization is wanting to address one. Generally, it's multiple of these. Their current on-premise solution is maybe no longer fit for purpose, or it's starting to incur much higher costs, or there's an impending upgrade on the horizon, which is also going to be costing significant time and effort and money. Generally, the second one there, user dissatisfaction is increasing. This is common in that what was good enough 5-10 years ago no longer is. Everybody's is becoming increasingly aware of the advanced, leading edge innovation that is being incorporated to many applications, whether that is a financial management or a HR solution, or whether it's a sales CRM type solution. The depth of functionality is certainly far, far greater than previous. Reporting, obviously, needs are increasing, and not just individual features and functions, but holistic reporting across the organization, and the benefits that are clearly available through having a globalized standard ERP solution really address that. Yes, there's these IT costs, hardware, data center costs, maintenance costs, data center people costs or IT costs, which are becoming very evident. So many reasons why organizations are considering or are actively pursuing their migration or transformation to the cloud.
And on that, I actually have a question, right? So organizations have, most of them have sort of business transformation roadmaps or a sort of a 3 to 5 year plan of where they want to go with their technology, and I guess an overall digitization approach. At what point do you think is a good time to actually do an ROI model, to get involved? When do you typically get involved, Michael?
Yes, that's a good question. So the Oracle Customer Strategy Team, previously known as the Oracle Insight Team, would be invited, would be encouraged to come and work with a customer, usually by our sales organization. The sales organization would be having that ongoing discussion with the customer team. Hopefully have given some very full and successful demonstrations. I've already spoken through the features and functions, so that there is a real interest, a real commitment by the customer to move forward. It's at that stage, maybe prior to a customer seeking their investment board approval or prior to the customer seeking their funding, they want to understand the economics. And that is whereby the Insight team, the customer strategy team, will then come and work with the customer to prepare. And I'm going to go through obviously the next few slides as to how we prepare. But yeah, I would say partway through that sales process, once we've got a reasonable commitment from the customer that this is something they want to move forward with.
Yeah, awesome. That sounds really good. Thank you so much. Very interesting.
I'll go forward. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so right. So there were two aspects to the ROI, to the business case that we put together. One would, covered by this slide, is more the total cost of ownership, the technology related costs. The second area, which I'll come on to after, is more the business improvement, efficiency, productivity cost savings. So I'll come on to that next. But first of all, there are some significant and readily identifiable IT cost savings. Now I'm showing ERP1 and ERP2 on the slide. ERP1 we generally refer to as that on-premise solution. That could be an Oracle on-premise solution or an alternate. ERP2 being cloud. So the typical costs that we see in running an on-premise solution would be the annual maintenance costs, the ongoing maintenance, the cost of the hardware for it to run, hardware maintenance, the infrastructure that sits on, system upgrades which are pending, generally whether it's Oracle, EBS, or another on-premise solution, would need to be upgraded every 3 to 5 years. So there's a very clear cost which needs to be taken into account. Infrastructure costs around security and disaster recovery, but also the IT teams that are deployed to support and maintain those on-premise solutions. So this slide tries to outline that and showing that there is costs, absolutely upfront costs in the licensing of that on-premise solution, but then monthly software maintenance, ongoing hardware maintenance, infrastructure security type maintenance, disaster backup, and obviously the people to support that, which are some of those costs, as they are relatively straightforward to assess. Some of them we would have to take a view on with the customer team as to, when we look at their technology stack, how much of that would be consumed or being used by their ERP solution, or the solution that we're reviewing, with HR, CX, ERP. And yes, we would take a view as to what proportion of a data center, what proportion of IT personnel, what proportion of hardware is being consumed in running the ERP solution. And that's something we would do in partnership with the customer team. So yeah, over some time, maybe a couple of weeks and working with the customer, we will come up with a view as to the total cost of ownership of their current solution. That would be compared to probably initially a rough order of magnitude cost in moving to a subscription type model. So we should be able to relatively straightforward say that your current cost of ownership is X versus what it would most likely be in moving to a subscription-based model. And obviously we would need to take into account the cost to migrate, any costs to implement and transition to a cloud-based solution. So yeah, in summary, in this slide, many costs we can identify as being related to their current solution. Few costs are applicable for moving to an OpEx type monthly subscription cost.
Yeah, I love it. Fascinating. And, it makes all perfectly sense, all the buckets you have listed here. 2 questions. First of all, how easy or difficult is it to get all of that information from your customers?
We've been doing this for a long time. We generally work in 2 methods. One would be, I guess, remote. Obviously, that's been a big focus for the last few years, whereby we would prepare, say, data requests, data input sheets, and send them over to the customer team and have a lot of Zoom or telephone discussions as to where that information can be found. The other way, which we saw a lot prior to the pandemic and we're moving a little back to now, is spending actually time with the customer. So being at the customer's site, helping them to understand the data, helping them to make assumptions on the level of current usage or current technology activities that relate to that system. So yeah, it's an iterative process. It's not just a case of send a request and then a few days later we will have all the answers. There's a number of assumptions that we make. We use benchmarks. Some of them could be quite straightforward, but yeah, it's something that we as a team have refined and can do relatively easily with the customer.
So it is a truly collaborative approach, which is great. I think that's where you probably produce the most accurate numbers. So assuming I'm, a potential Oracle customer or existing customer, and I'm thinking of, upgrading my ERP system, how much does your service cost?
Okay, so my team's activities, that's done an investment to Oracle. It's not something that we charge our customers for.
Absolutely.
Obviously, depending on the size of the customer, the opportunity, the coverage of the opportunity will determine the amount of time we spend with the customer. But yeah, there's no cost to the customer team.
Yeah,
I really want to,
so it's really...
Yeah, I was going to stress that this is something that we do in partnership. You said the word earlier, collaborative with the customer. It's not just an external perspective. It's not just an external Oracle view. This is something that we work with the customer team to put together so that they own it. They feel that they are invested in it. They are able to talk through the numbers, the assumptions, and the outputs with their management team. They're able to present it to their investment board. Yes, we're here to help if need be. So there is time required by the customer in putting this together, but it will absolutely be supported all the way through by ourselves.
Yeah, amazing. Great service. Thank you.
So let me go on to this slide. Just again summarizes some of the benefits again We've spoken about integration, and one of the advantages of having a more holistic Oracle Cloud solution in that integration between their finance, their supply chain, their HR systems, their CX or CRM sales systems, some significant benefits. Security, it's becoming more and more relevant and of a priority every day, every week. And Oracle's multi-layered approach and world-leading security standards are obviously a huge advantage and benefit to the customer. Globalization, many of the customers we're working with are, whether they're regional or global, require a solution that allows them to access from anywhere at any time, whether that's working from home, working from an office, or working from a customer site. The Oracle solutions are obviously absolutely deliver on that. And on the right hand side, this was based on a number of customer surveys that we've done recently, seeing why companies are looking at, considering, and are moving to Oracle Cloud. Obviously, cost is a huge element, but as I'll go on to now, it is the increasingly efficient and best of breed ongoing innovation in our solutions.
Yeah,
let me go through some of those.
Yes.
And,
yeah, sorry, you go ahead. I don't interrupt.
very good for time, I think.
Yeah.
How the as I said, the user experience, the benefits, the productivity, efficiency are a huge part of the business case. We have a extensive catalogue of benefits that are achievable, that have been achieved by our previous customers. We're able to leverage this database, this bank of data, which we're constantly updating with experiences from other customers, showing whereby they're able to streamline and reduce the time to produce their month-end books, to increase the quality and timeliness of their quarterly forecasting or their annual budgeting process, where they're able to reduce their internal and external audit costs, and absolutely improve the governance and efficiency around some of their spend areas. Now, there are 4 benefits I've listed here. I say that the catalogue we have is certainly far bigger than this, and every customer we look at, we'll look at the functionality that they are considering and build with them what are the potential benefits. And some obviously would differ, or many would differ in different customer scenarios. We will talk through where similar customers, it could be similar industry or similar geography, have deployed that, and show them some of the benefits that they have achieved. Now, I always stress to customers that it is not a given that they're going to achieve these benefits. The benefit range that we look at, you can see conservative through to aggressive. That could be a 10% improvement in the timeliness. It could be a 30 or 40%, and over time that will grow more. Obviously, on day one, the benefit is going to be less, because they would potentially just be continuing with the adaptation of their previous process, but adapting that and building on it to really take advantage of those efficiencies. So many of these efficiencies will come over that first 1 to 2 years as adoption increases, but also depending on the aggressive nature the customer has in really achieving those improvements. Now I'll go on to the next slide.
Super fascinating. And some of those numbers, while they're in this case financial management centric, I'm assuming there's probably similar numbers for CX or HR systems as well, right?
Absolutely. We have an extensive database, as I say, of customer experiences, whether they've deployed a HR module, whether they've deployed sales and marketing in the CRM CX space, or whether it's a financial management process. Again, I'm showing, the reason I show a lot of financial management, as you saw from my previous slide, that's my background. That's where I get most of my conversations with executives happen in that field. But yes, we just as comprehensive in our coverage and working with the CHRO or sales marketing leadership.
Yep, awesome.
Now let me go on. So an output, and maybe I'll just summarize the process. In coming in and working with the customer, there's a lot of data gathering that we do, whether that's on site with the customer, whether that's remote, but it's certainly very much led by ourselves, working with the customer team to understand why we want that data, and then start thinking about the benefits that are relevant, the level of potential achievement. Over this time, we're looking at, as other customers have done, looking at some of the global benchmarks that have been achieved. Let's say on the HR side, we will be looking at the current employee churn, looking at time to hire, and we'll be comparing that against some of the benchmarks we see in that sector, in that region, and looking at then how this customer can better align to those standards and those global benchmarks. Same with the financial management on closing, looking at how long it takes them to close monthly and year end, compare that against improving or developing global standards, and start to look at, well, how can the customer achieve that? And through showing the functionality, the features, and what other customers have achieved, including Oracle. Oracle obviously is a primary user of our solutions and the benefits we've achieved as an organization through deploying Oracle ERP Cloud, HCM Cloud, and some of our sales and marketing solutions. So we're able to demonstrate to the customer, this is where you are, this is what's achievable, and this is how the proposed functionality will help get you there. We're building up at this time an extensive Excel model showing the benefits and how we model them. Obviously, we take a lot of data from the customer team, and ultimately that ends up in a summarized ROI, total cost of ownership business case. And some of the graphs I'm showing on slides here, I've taken customer names off, but the top one was an organization we worked with recently in Australia. In the bottom corner, this is a company I work with over in Jakarta. And you can see, and these are actual outputs from the customer, that there is on both a very clear return on initial investment within 2 years, within 20 months. That initial investment, predominantly the external SI or implementation costs, plus costs that the organization itself can earmark as part of the transformation. But we are consistently showing customers that there is a clear ROI within a acceptable time frame, and that total cost of ownership in running an Oracle cloud-based solution is significantly better than their traditional on-premise solution.
Yeah, it's fascinating. I love those charts because it's also something I see, our customers are asking for it as well. It's like, show us what other organizations in my industry do show us, or, what kind of outcomes and benefits can we achieve with making certain investment decisions. So, being Oracle and having really access, I guess, to global case studies and global examples and global ROI models across any industry is such a powerful, I guess, measurement tool and baselining tool to go into, for example, a utilities business or water or energy business or manufacturing business or any business, really, to say, well, around the globe, Oracle customers on average achieve those outcomes over the first 5 years. So let's plug in your bespoke numbers to see, to drive the prediction.
Just, I guess, build on what you're saying, that yes, we have global experiences. We have global and regional industry experts who can work with telcos or banks or retail organizations to talk through the experiences that we've had with other companies from that industry. But also we do have individuals that work across industries, because there's many lessons to be learned in talking to organizations from a different industry to certainly understand some of the achievements and benefits and innovation that are happening there, so we can bring them into the industry we're talking about.
Yeah, awesome. And just another quick question. So how long does that take to develop that ROI model? So again, I'm your potential future customer. Say, Michael, let's please work together on developing this something like this, because I needed to get board approval for the investment. What's the duration I need to factor in?
It's a very good point, and the easy answer is, well, it depends on the size of the organisation. But for large regional businesses, a month, 6 weeks would be a typical. However, if a customer is after just a more higher level, then again, that's something we can do within a couple of weeks. But yeah, it depends on the level of involvement the customer is able and wanting to give. I say those iterations that we go through, the ongoing consultation is such an important part of this. It's not just about the end report. It really is about the journey and putting it together, helping the customer really understand those benefits, helping the customer to understand the experiences of other customers, so they feel absolutely ownership and able to present to their executive committee. Yeah,
makes total sense.
I think we're doing okay for time. I've got a few minutes, and I've put this slide. This just absolutely summarizes some of the things that we spoke about. Actually, one of the things we didn't in the top corner was implementation speed. One of the absolute advantages of the Oracle cloud solutions now is that rapid, controlled deployment. No longer, as many companies will have seen in the years gone, an implementation of an on-premise system can take years with the vast amount of configuration and customization. With a cloud-based solution, there's none of that. That's the solution. It's there for you to access. Yes, there's personalization and building a chart of accounts and defining some reports, but this is something that takes months now, not years. We've spoken about the upgrades and the ongoing innovation that Oracle is absolutely committed to with all of our solutions, that regular quarterly upgrades, which happen seamlessly without the customers, without disruption. New features, new functions, new reports are always being included. The 52%. This is a number that we watch regularly, and we're all getting feedback from our customers. But an absolute reduction in the total cost of ownership versus on-premise. It is. And when you're talking of a multinational, this is millions of dollars. So I think that's probably me up for time. That's all I wanted to talk through. And Anita, as I've said to you before, if there's if additional time, questions, then either please reach out to me. Please reach out to me through Oracle or my LinkedIn details, and I can certainly help steer some of these organizations into some of the ways that we can help them.
Yeah, I love it. Super insightful. Thank you so much, Michael. I always personally take a lot out of my guest speakers and the contents, what we're covering. So I thought it was super insightful. Thank you so much for your time. Really appreciated it.
No, my pleasure. Absolutely.
And for everyone who's still on the call or is listening in, so we still run another 3 sessions over the next 3 Wednesdays. Next Wednesday's topic is modern cloud ERP for utilities with a guest speaker from DXC, which is our partner consultancy. So with that, I'll let everyone enjoy the rest of the Wednesday and talk soon. Thank you so much, Michael.
Thank you.